well, guys, I guess that's that. So, I've been driving the truck a ton. I've had this issue a few times here and there, but it's getting worse because now when it does it and you restart the truck, sometimes it dies and sometimes it stays running. So, we're going to dive to the bottom of this. I actually started this video a couple days ago, so let's rewind back to that, and then we'll get back to today, and we will continue from there. All right, so we have landed in limp mode. You can see it will rev up using a lot of throttle, so it holds a high idle, and sometimes when the idle comes down it'll sound real choppy, like the truck has a cam in it. So it's done this ever since it's been back together, but today we're gonna take a look at that. So one thing you can do is I'll let it idle down, we'll shut it off, start it back, and it only does this when it is raining, which is very odd. So when we get back to the house, I didn't really feel like working on anything today, but when we get back to the house, we'll take a look at this finally and see if we can figure out what the deal is. But it's slowly idling down, so we'll let it sit here a minute, and I'll shut it off, we'll start it back. Every time you do that, it starts back fine, it runs out fine. You might go a mile down the road, you might finish the rest of your day. There we go. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Turn this radio down. So turn the key off, take the key out. That doesn't make any difference, but you do that, start it, and it's fine again. And like I said, you might go a mile down the road, you might finish the rest of your driving for the day, and now it died. So when we get back to the house, we're gonna take a look at that, and we'll see what we can figure out. All right, so it is the next day. As you can see, it's not raining, but this morning my headlight's getting worse. I don't know, I guess it's about time for a new set of headlights for this thing. But this morning I did some research. Actually, yesterday I did some research while it was raining, and what I was looking at is when this happens, it does not set a check engine light, it throws the wrench light. Well, there's only a handful of things that will set the wrench light on these trucks. I believe the oil temp and coolant temp delta being too high, and a handful of other things. But being as this only happens when it rains, to me that kind of leads that out. So that is that. But I did some research, and I got bug guts on my charge pipes. That's fun. But I was looking, and no, this was not unplugged this morning, but I unplugged it to see if anything would change, and it didn't. Well, it did, but what I was looking at was on the bottom of the sensor. It is broke. I don't know if I can show it on the camera. I don't know if y'all can see that down in there or not, but this sensor is actually broken. So I'm gonna take it off. We're gonna put some, I already ordered a new one, but it won't be here for a few days. But regardless, I'm gonna take it off. We're gonna put some dielectric grease on it and see if that will fix that for right now. Because I do happen to know that this is one of the sensors that communicates with everything and I believe could make it run funny. I also need to get a new air filter. This one's kind of getting kind of crusty, but yes, I found that cracked. So like I said, I'm gonna put some dielectric grease on it until the new one comes in, and we're gonna see if that makes any difference with it at all. But I need to do that. I need to give this thing a good clean under here. I haven't cleaned it since the truck went back together. It appears as if we have a fuel leak again over here, and maybe something over here. I don't know, but it's neither here nor there. We'll figure that out later. But this thing is super filthy. I've been driving the truck a lot. As you can see, the entire truck's filthy. I've been driving the truck a lot, just driving it. But I believe at some point we're gonna pull it back in the shop and tear it back apart for some more changes. So that's why I'm not super concerned with this. I do have the 300. The 300 operates perfectly fine, but the truck's a little more fun. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna get this sensor off. I'm gonna put some grease on it, and well, we'll see if it fixes it. It's obviously not raining today. It's not supposed to rain for the next couple weeks, so that's kind of that. But I do want to throw some grease on that just to make sure, and we will go from there. All right, guys, so we got the sensor off, kind of smeared some grease all over to keep water out of it and whatnot, but we did get it all back on. It is plugged back in. I would like to figure out a way to tuck this wire at some point. I know I can kind of feed it down in here, but you can still see it. That's one thing I don't like about this particular intake, is it sticking right out the side there. No, you cannot flip it around. I have tried that, or I've looked at that, and no, you cannot flip it. So it kind of sucks, but we did get it back in there. So that is that. We do need to, I guess it's not terrible, but we do need to address this fuel leak here. As you can see, it's got a different thread sealant on all of these. It's because those fittings leaked when I bought that particular regulator return, and well, they still leak. So look at that. And I also need to get my intermediate fan shroud back on. We didn't put it back on after, what is this? I don't know what that is. Anyway, I don't know, but oh, that might be cleaner, because I halfway washed this thing the other day. But I need to get that back on. We forgot to put that back on after we did the power steering pump. So it's in the shop. I'll get that. But I have a bunch of stuff that I have to do today. So had some stuff happen, and Verizon kicked us out of our account. So now this phone that I've had for, I don't know, a week isn't currently functional outside of Wi-Fi, which is okay because I have two phones. But we need to go get that taken care of today. I do need to order some stuff for the truck today. So that is that. But like I said, we do have a bunch of stuff to do today, so we'll go do that, and then I'll come back and mess with this a little bit more later. But anyway, like I said, I did order that new sensor. It should be here like next week. Today is Wednesday, so I figure it should be here next week. We'll throw it on there, and what I'll probably do is wash the motor on the truck pretty heavily and see if it acts up, and if it does, we will go from there. Because like I said, I did some research on the whole wrench light thing, And there's a handful of things that will throw a wrench light on these trucks, but that's really the only thing that seemed to pertain to water. And the really weird thing about it is it only does it when it rains. And you can pull off to the side of the road, you can shut the truck off, start it back, and like I said, sometimes you can run it a mile down the road and it'll go right back into limp mode, and sometimes you can drive it the rest of the day and it'll be fine. And typically what I've found is if you leave the truck off for 20-30 minutes and then start it back, it doesn't do it for the rest of the day, unless the engine gets cold, and then you go back, and you go back out driving. So that kind of tells me that something's getting wet, and then the heat of the engine is baking off that water, and then it's fine again. So that's, like I said, the sensor being cracked, what I found. I was actually curious if the electrical connector was messed up in any way, so I unplugged it, kind of looked it over and everything, but I actually found that being cracked. So that very, very well may be the issue. So we're gonna run it with the grease on there, see what it does. Like I said, it's not supposed to rain for the next couple weeks, so we should be fine either way. But we did get some grease on it, that way that sensor doesn't get full of junk. I don't know if the sensor really even does anything on this truck at the moment, but that is that. So anyway, guys, I'm running here to grab keys for this, and we're gonna hit the road, get a bunch of stuff done today, or as much as we can. It's been a super busy week again, but we're making it work. So anyway, oh, and also another thing, I need to get a tie rod ordered for this. I've ordered a few. The orders have been canceled on all of them, which is very weird. So I'm gonna get some ordered. I'm probably just gonna order 2 from 2 different companies, and maybe one of them will actually fulfill my order, because this thing is scooping the front tires and is starting to death wobble because they are very scooped. So I need to rotate them, but I'm not rotating them because it's just going to scoop the other ones, with that tie rod end being a little worn. It's not super worn, so I don't mind driving the truck, but it's eating up tires, and these tires are a little expensive, so we're not going to do that. And then at some point we're going to clean up the JTXs. I believe we're going to throw the JTXs on the truck. I'll probably try to find some street tires, see how I like it with the 6s and 14 wides, and we'll go from there on that. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be a wrap for this one. So with that being said, if y'all enjoyed today's video, maybe you found it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below, smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.